Howdy, Beefalo Bart here, and welcome. Alright, so I'm going to pick up where I left off on the last one. And since we actually have a vehicle, I am going to add a second map, which will be a place for us to drive around with the car. But foist, we need a map. But then we'll also have to add a way of getting to that map from the main menu. And currently the way I've got my single player set up, if you just want to check out this map, just go to single player, whatever. But if you want to test out the car map, you can just go through multiplayer, and yeah, it's not a big deal. It's not like you're hurting anything by going into multiplayer, even if you just want to play with yourself. I mean, by yourself. So let's go ahead and go to new level. We're going to go to default, and I am going to get rid of you because I just don't like you. Get rid of you because I don't like you either. We're going to create a new folder called map stuff. I am going to delete the player start for now, and actually no, undo. We'll leave the player start in there. But let's just go ahead and move everything into the map stuff. And I don't know why it decided to do that. So, next thing I want to do is grab in a BSP geometry. I don't have a material for it. Well, I do. We can look at these textures here, and you know what? I can just use polygrass. What I'll do is go in here to materials, and there we go. So I'm going to select that material, and then I'm going to select the box BSP geometry, and I'm going to go ahead and zero it out. Why did you? Oh, because you needed to draw it. 0, 0, and 0. We're going to change the Z height to 10, and we're going to change the X and the Y to 20,000 by 20,000. Too many zeros. May not be big enough, so let's go double that. 40,000 by 40,000. And that should be good enough. Let's go to our world settings. For now, we're going to go to third-person game mode so we can actually walk around on the map. We're camouflaged with the map now. So the next thing I want to do is create a simple map border that's going to keep our cars in the map. Maybe not necessary, but whatever. We're going to do it anyway. Just to be different, we're going to do blue. We'll do this. Go back to our details. And I'm going to 0, 0, and 0. Just so I can start from there and actually move it back to where I need to be. And let's actually move it to here and split the difference. Alright, so location is going to be negative 20,000 and 0. Z height, let's make this 500. And let's change this to 250. So that puts it right there on ground level. And now we need to make our, because we see our Y is going to be left and right this way. So Y needs to be that 40,000. And we can see that it is at a negative 20,000. So what I can do is Control C and Control V, and then click in here, remove the negative, and poof, instant wall. And then I can grab both of them, Control C, Control V, and rotate 90 degrees. And let's just speed up our camera just a wee bit. Slide it over here to the end. We can manually make adjustments to it once we've got them in place. And pretty close. So I'll just click on one of them. We know this needs to be 20,000 and this needs to be 0. And this one needs to be 0 and negative 20,000. So there, we've got a perfect little wall system. We've got a map. There's nothing in here just yet. So just wanted to get that part of the functionality done. Let's go ahead and save all. Save selected. We're going to go to My Maps folder. And I'm going to call this Test Track. Now, to get the car to work, we know that we have a car, and it's delightful. We can go to our meshes. Not our materials, dum-dum. Meshes. Vehicle, and we got this awesome sports car. So, here's what we're going to do. We're going to add new feature or content pack. We're going to add vehicle template, add to project, and close that. Now, we don't need everything in here. We have meshes, whatever. Sedan, we're going to need the blueprint. We're going to need the skeleton, and we come in here, we got blueprints for vehicle game mode, vehicle HUD, maps we're not going to need, and sedan blueprint, we're going to utilize that. However, I am going to move this to my character blueprint folder. I am going to do this and copy here, go there, and I'm going to rename this by hitting F2. PC underscore sports car. Now, if I go into it, see, we've got all this cool stuff in here we don't really need to mess with just yet. Look, we have the car, we got an interior camera, we got an exterior camera, we got data that shows up on the HUD, so that's cool. Now, come back to our world settings, and we want to go from third-person game mode for this map to vehicle game mode, and I'm going to save all. Now, if I hit play, we have a car. There's no sound, and the car's the handling absolutely sucks. Hit tab, we can go to the interior of the car. Yeah, I mean the dynamic setup on the default is absolutely terrible. You can see we have our gear selector and our speed. Hit tab, go back to the exterior view. Car is leaning like crazy. Yeah, the vehicle dynamics are terrible. I didn't make them. That's UE4 stuff. So what we need to do is start working on in our character folder. Let's create a new folder. Vehicle. And we'll do the same thing here. We've got animations. And that's the biggest thing I think we need for now. We'll come back over here to our, let's see, which one do we need? Sedan folder. Skeletal mesh. Sedan skeleton. We're going to be referring back and forth to this because our wheels are named wheel front left, wheel front right, wheel rear right, and rear left. Okay, that's cool. But we need a rig. Well, we can't use a humanoid rig, so I'm actually going to close that down. I'm going to close our car down for right now. And what I'm going to do is right click on the skeletal mesh and go to create and create rig. We're going to leave all that in there. Select OK. And there we go. Sedan skeletal rig. So we now have a rig system we can use to retarget with. It's been a while since I've done the cars, and I've already done a tutorial on doing these. So let's see if I can actually remember how I actually did it. So I know that you got to retarget this, and you can't do this just yet because you haven't set up the other car, which is in here. Let's see, if you look at this, select rig, sedan skeletal rig. Now, here's what we're going to do. The vehicle sports car does not have this. So, I mean, if we just did that, is that actually the sedan skeletal mesh, vehicle base? I don't remember. I'll probably screw it up, but I have to come back and fix it later. But the front left wheel needs to be FL right there. Front right, FR. Rear right, RR. And rear left, which would be RL. I don't remember. There's no pose to worry about right now. So let's just try saving that. And I may have to go back in and tweak it around a little bit. I haven't done this vehicle before. I have done other Synty vehicles, but we'll see if I get it right the first try. Okay, so back to here. Right click, retarget animation blueprint, and there's nothing there. So that tells me that in here, a plat asset was not checked. Save and close. Try that again. Oh, not a problem, man. I enjoy making the videos. I actually like doing these more than I like actually making my own games. So, to me, it's a jigsaw puzzle of figuring out how to do things. Meh. Use your own rig. There. It's been a while since I've retargeted a car blueprint or animation blueprint. So now we can do that. And I'm going to replace... Actually, let's do it like this so it's easier. What I like to do is I hit F2, Control C, click off of it so that I've got that name in there. And then when I go into retarget, we're good to go. And I can click right here, Control V, and it puts that in there because I'm going to call this sports or just car underscore ABP. I'm going to change so I can put it in the location that I want it to go in. Vehicle animation folder, okay, and retarget. Now save all. Now currently right now still we're able to play with this car. Yeah, I actually set up their Discord forum not long ago. So we want to change that out. So let's go to our blueprint for our sports car. And let's look at our viewport. So we've got our car. We want to change their mesh. So we can go back over here. Don't have to do it this way, but if you go back into the vehicle folder, select the skeletal mesh, come back in, and you hit the arrow. See, all these textures are applied to, or materials are applied to it. Whenever I change that mesh, poof, there we go. We'll probably have to fiddle with that camera too. We're going to hit compile and save. Go to our vehicle movement. This is a very important thing to actually do here. A lot of people forget to do this step. And like, oh, well, where is it? Well, okay, we have to do, and if we can't find it, I think it's actually in, is it vehicle setup? Not worried about it. The simple way to do it is go in here to search, type in wheel, and this is what we got to change now. The wheel front left. This is where we're going to need to bring in our skeletal mesh for our vehicle. Let's go back to the skeletal tree, and the first one we need is wheel front left. And you could do like this, right click, copy selected bone names, click back on here, it's front left, Control V. Yeah, that's right. So now we need front right. Click on it, right click, copy selected bone names. So front right is there. And I've asked Synty Studios to actually quit putting in vehicle specific names for the wheels. Just do wheel FR, or use it the same as what it is for the default wheel rear left. Instead of putting SK underscore VEH underscore sports underscore yeah, there's some really good other systems that are out there for setting up cars. And, you know, if you're setting up Synty cars, most people are just trying to get the easiest way to do it, and this is the easiest way. But you don't want to buy other assets to go on top of other assets. And I understand that. But I really, either I should go in here and physically just, well, finish off these last two, rear left, and spend some time learning how to create the proper vehicle mechanics myself. Why are you doing that? Just click there, Control V, and rear right. That way I could do a proper tutorial on how to do it. Well, maybe he needs to get in touch with me, and maybe I need to start watching his videos, because yeah. So hit compile and save. So look at our mesh again. And let's get rid of that. We need to make sure that we're using the right animation here. Car ABP. Hit compile and save. We should be done with that. And if I did it correctly, we can change default pawn here to PC sports car, and cross your fingers. I see the wheels turning, wheels spinning. It's working. The camera needs to, the outside camera probably should come back a little bit more so you can see all of the car. Hit tab, and probably have to change the positions of those guys. But they're there and working. Ooh, hit the wall. Yeah, the vehicle mechanics are absolutely garbage. I'll take a look at that. Yeah, thanks for posting that name in there. I'm sure other people want to look at it too. Holy crap, I'm doing 120 kilometers per hour. If you're into drifting, this isn't so bad. But hey, I got it working on the first try. How about that? So let's actually move that camera back. This one right here. Let's just push it back to right there. Give that a shot. I don't know, what do you think? Is that good? Too far back? Whatever? And here's the fun part. First off, save all. Not that Unreal Engine 4 ever crashes or anything. New Pi window. Okay, so problem being is I only had one player start. So let's go to player start and Control C, Control V, and I'm going to put 4 of them in here because I just started on top of the other car. I did it again. Alright, so this is the client. Yep, and we can see him out of control. Let's go back to the server. Why isn't this replicated? Alright, so server. Let's actually find the client car. Client sees it now. Alright, the positioning is way off. What the hell? So the client is not... Okay, I'm driving around as the client right now on the right screen. Client comes over here and hits. But if I come back over here as the server, which is the left screen, I'm controlling the left screen. Oh, I see. Yeah, they're not seeing the positioning right. I mean, they see each other, but positioning is way off. I don't think I've done this multiplayer before. And I mean, if I come back around here as the client, our positioning, see, I'm right there in front. But yeah, that's just not right. Damn you, Unreal Engine. Damn you, Epic Games. Yeah, I can ram with the server and hit the client. But look at the difference in the positioning. Yeah, I think I've seen some of Mass stuff before. What the hell's up with the positioning of this? I mean, they're working and they're moving around and they're doing their thing, but wow, that is just like... Yeah, the client can hit the server and bump them around, but I am not seeing the client moving at all. So right now, if I pass the other player, that's odd. Let's look at the event graph and see what's going on here. And set default camera, reset VR device. We're not doing VR. In-car view, steering inputs. Handbrake update. That's current gear. In-car HUD. That's lovely. Anything in a construction script? Not a thing. Yeah, it's really odd that the it's not properly replicated. I never thought to actually check it in multiplayer like that. Yeah, I'm looking at the class defaults right now also, but the class settings, you know, parent class wheeled vehicle, you know, no, that's gear display on the overall, you know, the route here. Replicate movement is default, and replicates is default for replication here. I haven't changed any of these settings. Net cold distance, not worried about that right now. Net dormancy priority. Yeah, you would think so. I mean, it's worth a try, you know. But you would think that, you know, Epic would do this correctly, you know. So this is, you can see on the left is the server. That looks better. It's not perfect, but it looks better. I'm operating the client right now. You see, he just passed it, and now we're totally out of sync again. So I pass in front. I mean, almost touching. The server does not see the client there at all. So let me actually look, see where they actually are. Yeah, see, that's way off. I mean, it starts off good. It's like right now, server is parking T-boned in front of them, but you can see on this side over here, nowhere close. And I'm ramming, in the server view, I'm ramming them. Don't get that at all. They're not seeing their position. So with that, we don't want that checked. Always relevant. Really, it didn't help all that much, if all. Look at the mesh. And sometimes this works by adding the mesh as component replicates. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't fix some of these issues. can see, we'll start off as a server. Server's in front here, so go over here and T-bone. So it looks good now. Everything is great. But I'm going to drive around a little bit and then come back and get back in front again and see how far off it's going to be. So let's ease up over here. Let's do a high-speed pass. Okay, it looked okay. There's some donut fights going on in the Discord channel. 2 people with donut in their name. And let's do a pass. Well, looks good. So now let's try it with the client. Get out here and get out of my way. Totally out of sync now. So let's come over here and go nose to nose. Yeah, you can see how far a difference it is. Oh, son of a bitch. Well, the vehicle movement should also be fully replicated on everything, but update only if rendered. Component replicates. It's right there, so weird. Oh, Unreal Engine. Quit focusing on Fortnite and start fixing shit that matters to your people who are trying to create games and stuff. Build a better multiplayer network framework for players to generate. Easier. Yes, there's ways of going around and fixing every little solitary thing, but make it easier. Well, that's good. Maybe yes, maybe no on that. Because there's 2 different inputs, and it should work though. I mean, here's the thing: is the component portion of it. It's weird that they're not communicating the server is fine. Server I can drive around no problem, but as soon as I move the client vehicle, it starts losing its tracking ability. And unfortunately, this little setback, I'll come back to it in just a minute. Let's actually, for giggles, change this to 3 players. And I mean, I could run it. Well, let's try it as 2 with dedicated. And they're on top of each other. Alright, so client 1, client 2. So this is client 1. Okay. Looks okay. So let's drive around. This is where we had the problem before, is we just start driving around and the thing just gets screwed over. And out of sync again. So now if I turn around and find out where this guy is. He's all the way over there. Come up here now. See, they're totally out of sync from each other. Yeah, I mean, that's no problem. Just right now, this is an absolute stupid issue that shouldn't be an issue. And see, by now, I should have already transitioned into putting more stuff in the map so it's not just a wide open area, it's an actual track, and I could put more walls up maybe, or maybe some terrain objects, things to run over, maybe checkpoint items, things of that nature, so it looks like it's an actual race, maybe set up an actual race, whatever. But just kind of annoying that it's just not right. And the vehicle works. It works just fine. And it's nothing to do with any of this stuff right here. Or this stuff, or whatever. And it's not anything to do with Synty's stuff. I mean, that's working. It's with the either the vehicle game mode. Excuse me, go away. Start with tick enabled. Default player name, not worried about, because that's taken care of by the multiplayer stuff, menu system. LOD and cooking, I'm not worried about. There's nothing showing right here in the because there's nothing in this, nothing in the construction. So, default pawn class is good. Game session, game state base, player controller, server stat replicator. It's only the one. Possible. I've never had to mess with any of this stuff right here. I didn't change anything. What the hell, you stupid ass damn thing. Vehicle HUD, that's not going to do anything. Sedan, we're not worried about that because we're not using any of those items. I mean, technically we are using, but are not. Does that make sense? You could edit the back wheel and change some of the stuff here, like the radius, the width, mass, dampening rate, and some of these will actually help with the vehicle dynamics. But this is not doing anything with the replication. Wheels are separate. They're working just fine. Let me actually go back in here and play it again. I want to look at something while the cars are synced. Yeah, I'm looking on the other screen here. The client sees the server's tires turning, left and right and spinning. So that's good. So the client, let's actually, while they're still somewhat in sync, bring them in here. Here we go. See the wheel turn and is spinning as it's moving. So those are replicating just fine. It's just the world position is not working. It's nice to see that the steering works just fine. And I'm going to just change the freaking color. Let's go with 3 so it can be blue. I don't know why, but if I'm on a green map, I don't want to see a blue player. Because what I was going to do was socket the player or just put a player inside the car sitting down, but I'm not really worried about that at this point because the car, it's going to bug me that it's not doing what it's supposed to do. If you look at class settings, Parent class wheeled vehicle. That's fine. Um, there's nothing in the class settings there. Class defaults. I mean, if you look through here, always relevant. Replicate movement is checked. Net load on client. Net cull distance. Net dormancy. I mean, what else could be the thing here? I mean, replicated movement, location quantization, round to decimals. Let's tune in the compression level for the replicated location vector. You should only need to change this from the default if you see visual artifacts. And we're damn sure seeing visual artifacts, you know. Velocity quantization, round whole numbers. Allows tuning the compression levels for replicated velocity vectors. That might actually be a thing. Let's try running it at 2 decimals like the one above. Each vector component will be rounded, preserving 2 decimal places. That's pretty accurate. You know, it's going to be a little bit tighter. So let's start with the server. We're going to back right up and smack into him. No problem. Get up there. Yes, we're teabagging with a sports car. So I'm going to drive around with the server, go all the way around the car, and then find it again. Why is the client car moving? Why are you moving? Alright, we're bumping into each other, and it's not a thing. But why in the hell is the damn client car moving? And see, and it's rolling forward again. So we're bringing alongside, and we are totally out of sync again. Look at the difference there. The server sees touching, the client sees way off. As I'm driving, it looks like I'm actually driving, but hello, goodbye. The client just showed that the server got launched into frickin' orbit. But we can see that right there. Oh, UE4, why you vex me so? I didn't mean to close a damn blueprint. I was trying to go back in it. Velocity, let's move that back to there. And go back to location. But it's already set to 2 decimal places, which should be more accurate than rounding to a whole number. Rotation. Yeah, this is just going to annoy the crap out of me. And what I'll do for right now is I'm going to come back to it because this is just annoying as crap. It's not working, and it's going to take me away from making it to where I can actually go to this map. Okay, so we have a map. It is called Test Track. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my UI. Widgets. Main menu. We already have this going. And what we're going to need to do here is under the host. So what I'm going to have to do here is, this is the find lobby. We don't need to see the find box. So I'm going to hide that one and create server box. We're going to show that one. What we need to do here is have a map selector. So I need to have a method of picking which map I want to go to. That map selector, I'm going to end up having to go to both the designer and the graph. And I could do it so many different ways here. I've got checkbox, slider, I've never used a named slot before, but a button. I can just click on a button and it'll set the track. I could use a drop down box. Text box. I think a drop down box would probably be the best option here. Checkboxes are fun. They work. But I want a drop down box. So text box. No idea. Expandable area. Inputs. Combo box. That's what I'm looking for. So, need to do a... Let's see, I got horizontal. I got this. I got this. So it needs to go in underneath here. Inside the... No. Do I want it in the vertical box? Server creation. This box. Screw it. We'll put it in here and see what it looks like. So there's this vertical box, and it's going to, if I put it there, it's going to be all the way across. And then whenever I click on it, it's just going to have small amounts of text. So I'd say probably no. Let's put it... here. Where the hell did you go? Oh, it took it out. Let's actually put it into... I'm actually going to delete the damn thing. Create server box. I want to put it inside this box. So just grab it and... Why would you not go in there? Go to your home. There. Why aren't you in it? I want you in the damn box, you son of a bitch. It's in it, but put it in the damn vertical box. I don't want you in the vertical box. Oh, you're just being an asshole. Alright, screw you then. Well, we'll just leave it like this for now. And what we've got is default options. There's 0 elements. So I want two options. First one is going to be demo map and test track. So we got the two options there. Selected option. Well, screw around with this in just a minute. Let's take a look at it. We know we're saved here, so let's go to the lobby map. No, main menu map. Excuse me. Do one and selected viewport. Go to multiplayer, host, and you got your two options. We'll go to demo map and boop. However, I am going to want to put in a primitive. I want a spacer in there. Spacer, let's put that in here. And what? 20 is fine. So now, if we go into our graph, find an empty spot where I'm not giving away all my goodies and secrets. And combo box. Called when a new item is selected or on opening. So, why the hell would you go all the way over there, you sack of shit? Unselected, changed item, selected item, you got server to use. Let's change and add a new variable in here. And map to use. And this is a string, so let's change this to a string. Actually, no. That is a name. Huh. So selected item is a string, and what we're wanting to do here is set map to use. What we're going to have to do is find a way to convert from here to here by doing that. And let's do to text. Oh, let's do print text. And the text that we want to use is this. So technically when we select it, it should print it in the upper left-hand corner of the screen. Just to see if we're doing things semi-correctly. Multiplayer, host, demo map. Okay, it says it right there. And test track, it says it up there. It's kind of hard to see, but it worked. Stop. And we will do these. Compost, save, go back to our designer. Let's run this as demo map is going to be the default one selected. Now, here's the problem. it still doesn't know which map to actually use. If we do this, we're setting map to use, but the problem is selected item. Let's see here. What we need to find is equal to string, and let's run a branch just because we're going to have to ask a question here. Is it equal to this? Map to use. We need to get this selected item here, and we need to make sure that we have these correct. So Control C. If it is equal to demo map, then we need to get the name of our map here, which was demonstration. We do F2, Control C, click off of it, and we're going to set that to this. So if it's set to demo map, then we're setting map to use to demonstration. If not, Control C and Control V, and we're going to get rid of what's in here, and we're going to put in, again, we can do F2, Control C, so we have the exact name of the map. Now, since we only have 2, we can do it this way. Is it set to demo map? Yes, then use demonstration. Or set the map to use to that. If it's not, then go to there. If you had more, then I wouldn't do it like that. I would add another branch node in. Holding the right keys and doing the right thing works. So if it's false, then we need to ask the question. We'll bring this back out. We'll do equal, and let's go back here, grab that, Control C, go back to our graph, and paste that. Connect this to here. So we're asking now, is it equal to test track? If it is yes, then we're going to do that. So we have a way of, when we change this, we're setting this variable map to use. Then we're going to have to go back up here, and for level name, we're going to have to use map to use. We're going to get a get. What's happening, bud? Connect that into here. Yep, I don't know what you're saying there, man. So let's see if it actually almost works. Go to multiplayer, host. It's already preset to demo map. I'll put a map name in, hit make. And where was my error? Invalid URL. Yeah, we don't know what you're saying. So, and if you're just going to place dots and other characters, I'm sorry, nobody's going to be able to understand you. I keep seeing the same characters, and I'm just going to have to assume that that's spam and treat it as such. So set demo map, make, and did not work. Well, it may have worked. I didn't give it a chance to fail. because sometimes these take a little bit longer for the map to actually load. Alright, so go back to multiplayer, host, select demo map, give it a name, hit make, give it a second, see if it actually does anything. If it doesn't go in after about 20 or 30 seconds, it always takes longer in the editor, but whenever you actually package the project, it actually works a lot faster. And it does not appear that it's actually doing anything. So yeah, it's not doing anything. So host, kind of force it to fail. See, it goes back to this, sits here and does not actually load. So it's only affecting the map here. So on selected change, if it's demo map, then use that map. We're setting that variable of the map to use, and we're pushing that map to use into the level name for open level, which that should do. Come back here, look at this again. Yeah, that should be good. Go back to the graph. Go to that the combo button. Combo box. What the hell was the name of it? Combo box string. Yeah, it's right there. On selection. Yeah, that should be it. Selected item string. It's getting this information here. And let's actually ensure that it's actually doing it. Print text. And from here, we want to print that information. And we'll do the same thing here. We'll print text. And we'll grab this information here. Plug it in. I'm not going to keep this, so I'm not worried about how it looks. Go to multiplayer, host, demo map, and it did not print it. There it goes. It's coming up now. Put it on test track and hit make, and it's just okay. I didn't really change anything. So it's going to the test track map. So now I can hit escape. Oh no, I didn't have the escape functionality in there. So one thing I need to do here is in my player underscore base, my player character, one of the things that I have set up in here is somewhere escape menu. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to Control C so I can copy this. Yeah, that's fine. And then go into the vehicle, find me an empty space, paste that in there so that I have my escape menu functionality. essentially all that's doing is when I hit the escape key, it creates the escape menu widget, gets the player controller, adds the viewport, sets input mode to UI only, and shows the mouse cursor. The widget itself turns that back off. So now, if I hit play, camo, and multiplayer host, go to test track, give it a server name, hit make, and there we go. We can drive, go inside our car, go back outside with the tab keys, main menu game, main menu, multiplayer host, demo map, make. Are you going to go in? Let's see. Maybe that's where our error is. So exit game. We're using the demonstration map. The default is demo map, demo map. It is the same. And if I hit Control C, go back in here and make sure that this, and it's the same, demo map. So if it is equal to demo map, we're going to do that. But here's the thing is, let's go ahead and set a default for map to use to the demonstration map. Control C and map to use, no, is demonstration map. So there is a default to that, but when we change it by selecting it with the drop down box, it will do that. So let's see if that works. So we hit multiplayer host. I'm not going to change anything. Go in here, hit make, and we're in the map. Delightful. So if we hit escape, go back to our main menu, go to multiplayer host, change it to test track. We see it popped up there, but I'm going to change it back to demo map. It says demonstration. Change it test track, demonstration. Just flip flop back and forth, hit make game, and there we go. Oh no, it actually works. Okay, so go back to our main menu and multiplayer host, test track, and there we go. Okay, it works. I don't know what happened. Main menu, exit game. I didn't really change anything, but let's get rid of this guy and these guys. So now it should be good to go, and it won't print that little text string up there on top again. The only thing we don't have now is we don't have a way of selecting in single player. So if you want to play with yourself, I mean by yourself, you're going to have to do multiplayer host and then go through the menu that way. I guess for now what I can do is go back to my test track, and we will just play in selected viewport so we can skip all the menus and stuff. And there we go. I can actually work on this, make the map itself, and then I will try to revisit what the hell's going on with the replication on this. It works. Both players will be able to drive around normally, but the issue with the placement, them not seeing each other in the correct locations, I will worry about that later. I just want to focus in on the basics. So, yeah, we'll take a break. I will be available on Discord here shortly, but I'm going to go ahead and make this into a track, and I'll keep piddling around with this. Like I said, I'm not going to release this right now, but it is a try before you buy asset pack. I'm just going to start filling this map with stuff from the prototype pack, building pieces and stuff like that. Because you got the polygon stuff, there's a bunch of building pieces. I can set up ramps, which would be cool for a car to be able to jump over the ramps and stuff. I got all kind of different wall sections and whatnot in here. The simple folder, there's even more stuff here. Pretty much about the same, but you also got trees and clouds and water and icons we can place up. So if I want to make this into a simulated race, then you got like trophy icons you can put up over the finish line or what have you. Damn, see, this pack comes with a lot of the stuff that was in the simple icons pack, which I loved it too. I love the post-it notes, weather icons. Yeah, there's so many different cool things in here that yeah, it's probably going to take me a while to populate this map, because not only can I plop them down, but I can also change the materials on them as well. There's flags, there's barriers, barrels, pipes. Yeah, it's going to take me a little while to just stack some stuff in this. Then you got the primitives and polygon primitives. You do have particle effects, but they're not what I would use for this, for the driving portion of the map. Got all your different characters right there. Your stationary characters, like, hands up and, climbing up a ladder and running and stuff like. These are stationary poses. But I will do that on my dime. Gives me something to play around with. I'll set up some kind of racetrack in here, or just a free roam with jumps and junk like that. Just something fun to play with. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.